Vagrant King Podcast. All right, so this is the third take that we're doing this. The first one got deleted, and now this one is pretty awesome.
The second one, Matt was on my settings, and I'm a little bit quieter and don't project as much as Mike does.
So I sounded like, I don't know, the Hulk or whatever.
It's ridiculous. Would have killed your ears. You guys are going to thank me later.
But welcome to the Vagrant King Podcast regardless. So
yeah. We were going to talk about a smoking lady. I guess we still can. This will be the third time, so it's no more news to Matt anymore. But the voice of E.T. in E.T. was a smoking lady who smoked 2 packs a day, and she was only paid $380 for doing that.
This is scandalous. This is scandalous from Steven Spielberg. How dare he?
She probably got $10 for saying ET phone home. That's it. That's crazy.
Well, she's now famous, I guess. I don't know if you want to put that up. I was the alien.
How do you? I don't understand the voice, how it gets that way. Yep. So this is the Vagrant King Podcast. Matt's got some news about the podcast. He's gonna rattle off.
We got some cool stuff going on. This is our last Super Saturday session where we kind of cram everything together. But we really love doing these podcasts, so we're gonna start doing them three days a week, on every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Saturday. So get excited. Let us know how you think about our new way of doing podcasts. So
yeah, let us know if you like it. Diving right into movies. Regal Cinemas released some news this week saying they're going to start searching bags on people that walk in. They're not going to touch anything, so don't worry. Don't be worried about your Snickers, Matt. But
how'd you know?
Because you offered me your Snickers yesterday.
I offered everyone my Snickers yesterday.
No one took it. But yeah, so they can't even touch anything. They'll be okay with food and stuff. But this is in light of kind of some of the recent shootings that have been going on at cinemas.
Like just to kind of stop the violence going on, which they've already kind of taken precaution. They've changed midnight showings, which is the big deal, to maybe like an earlier time. So a lot of movie theaters already started doing like midnight showings at 7 the day before and stuff. And so this is just to add on to that, and we'll keep you posted to see what happens with that.
Yeah, I really hope it doesn't change up any of the big ones like Star Wars or anything like that. I really just don't want any. Well, I wouldn't mind bouncers actually outside my little theater.
Yeah, no more shooting people.
Yeah, I'm pro no killing. What is that? What is that word for that? Anti-killing? There we go. Pro no killing. Pro no.
Anyways, speaking about guys wearing masks killing people, we got the movie Zorro is getting a reboot. It's going to be a little bit different this time, though, because it's going to be based in the post-apocalyptic world.
I think that's awesome. Remember how a few podcasts ago we talked about how, I think it was the second podcast, how we asked people what kind of reboots they wanted?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So these reboots that we wanted, there's a reboot coming up, Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And so the Ghostbusters in this movie, I think, are 2 great examples of doing a reboot with a awesome twist. Yeah. Ghostbusters, an all-female cast, and Thor, and Thor.
And Chris Hemsworth.
He's a huge part of that movie. He's the secretary. And then Zorro is post-apocalyptic. I think that's awesome. I wish more movies had more reboots, since that's all Hollywood seems to be doing now. Reboots or franchises. Mm-hmm. I wish more reboots had a sweet twist like that.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of movies what kind of reboots would you want to have that kind of a sort of a twist?
Man, that's such a hard question, because like, I don't know, since I heard this Zorro news, I was kind of thinking a little bit about it, and man, like, dude, I don't even know.
I don't know. I would like to see some sport movies be rebooted, but with a different sport, maybe a futuristic sport, kind of like a Tron type thing.
Okay, like future space football or something.
I don't know, something like that. That'd be cool. Maybe Futurama sport where they play baseball, but the baseball's on a tether and it just boings everywhere whenever they hit it.
That movie's called Basketball. No,
Basketball? Not quite.
No, but like I was thinking like maybe like a classic movie, like something I would like to see rebooted is maybe Disney's doing a lot of good stuff. And so I would like to see Disney take a franchise that everyone likes, not like one of their ones that they're making.
They're rebooting in live action. That's not what you mean though, right?
Not rebooting live action, but maybe kind of like change it completely. Like maybe we all know the story of like I don't know, like Pirates of the Caribbean, make them like Space Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know, like something kind of crazy.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Like something crazy, like whoa, this I wasn't thinking of this as Pirates of the Caribbean.
That would be really cool.
Or Peter Pan, make him more realistic or something, like make him
well, they've done that a few times, but
kinda.
They always mess it up.
But I mean, like I've liked their take with like Cinderella and stuff like that. But I think if they took something that they have solid and kind of like Maleficent. Maleficent was a good example of a reboot of Sleeping Beauty. Like from the bad guy's point of view, that's cool. But to change it completely, like Space Pirates of the Caribbean, would be pretty darn awesome.
That would be sweet. I guess that's kind of our question for you guys, for the listeners. Email us, leave some posts or whatever, send us comments about some reboots with a sweet twist, like Space Pirates.
Space Pirates of the Caribbean. Let's talk about that. No, I'm just kidding.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Predator would be a cool reboot too.
Predator.
I don't know.
How would they reboot that? What do you?
Well, like they did it in modern times. Maybe we could like throw it back in the past, like
medieval.
Yeah, medieval Predator.
That would be sick.
Yeah, like knights, like King Arthur has to fight Predator. I don't know.
Well, so Sherlock, you know the new Sherlock series on BBC, the Netflix one with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
They're not doing a reboot, but they're kind of doing a throwback. Mm-hmm. They've got a special episode coming out next year. I don't know. They're terrible with their dates, with what they're saying.
Where Doctor Who shows up.
No,
Sherlock.
No.
Sherlock has to solve a crime.
No, not at all.
Oh,
they're doing it in like 17th century, 18th century style.
With Cumberbatch?
Like a kind of it's almost a tribute. Kind of not,
where
but
it's like the old.
So it's the same cast, yeah. So it's going to be the same. Yeah, the twirly mustache. I saw you twirl your. You don't have a mustache, but I saw you try to twirl something.
Yes.
So yeah, that's really cool. I like these reboots with the twists.
Yeah. So send us your again, like whatever twist you think of or like cool franchise you like. Email us at vagrantkings@gmail.com and let us know what kind of twist you want on your favorite old movies. Even if it is like Ghostbusters again or whatever, or even like if you want another Spider-Man reboot, or if you have a better idea for Fantastic Four, which we all need. So
yeah.
So send that to us. But continuing with movie news, George Miller, who is the director of Mad Max, is reportedly directing Man of Steel 2, which is the Superman movie, Superman Man of Steel.
The newer one. Mm-hmm. So the original director of Man of Steel is Zack Snyder, who's really similar to Michael Bay, who's all about explosions and everything. So I've heard nothing but good things about Fury Road. I still haven't seen it, but I've heard it's really beautiful cinematically, and I think this is a good move for Warner Brothers. I think it's going to be a good seat. Because
Well, I mean, like he saved, I guess, the Mad Max franchise. Like, not saved, but I mean, like. He held up the expectations. He brought it back to life. I mean,
when was the last Mad Max release? That was 80s, right?
Yeah, it was 80s. I mean, wasn't it Mel Gibson that was Mad Max?
Number 3? What was number 3? Wasn't Thunder Road. That was Thunder.
That was the second
Thunder
one.
Stadium.
We're very terrible at Mad Max skills.
Thundercats
Road. No, let's not butcher this anymore. Please send us your corrections and yell at us. We just butchered everything.
Yeah. So you were telling me about some fight, some argument, some playful interaction between Hugh Jackman and Jim Carrey this week.
Oh, yeah.
Last week.
So if you guys haven't seen on Instagram, Hugh Jackman posted a video of himself doing the line from The Mask where he's like, smoking! And he did the face and everything that Jim Carrey does. And he's like, here's to you, Jim Carrey. Sorry I butchered the mask. Couldn't do it as good as you. And Jim Carrey decided to do his hair up just like he did in Ace Ventura, where he was the white devil with his little horns.
Yeah.
And then he put a fork, a knife, a spoon, and I think like a can opener on his claws, on his fingers like claws. And he's like, thanks, Hugh Jackman. Let me take a bite out of your biggest roll.
He looked exactly like Wolverine. It was funny. At a glance, I thought it was Hugh Jackman. And I was like, wait a second, that's a spoon.
That's Jim Carrey. And so it was funny. They kind of had a little bout about that. But what's kind of cool is there was more Hugh Jackman news that also came out this week about Hugh Jackman. He is going to, he's in negotiations for the Odyssey movie coming out.
It'd be awesome to see him as Odysseus.
Yeah,
and just get the short end of the stick the entire story, because that's what happens. The entire story is just nothing but bad crap.
Well, it's
happening.
exciting. I mean, I don't know. Do they actually have Homer's Odyssey as a film right now?
Yeah, it's in the works. Like they have the.
Well, I mean, like, do they have an older version?
Oh, probably.
Because I know our brother were out that was like the remake of the Odyssey. I'm not sure if they actually have.
Yeah, it kind of follows the road or the outline of it. I don't know if there's actually been a dedicated Odyssey movie.
So
that is a good
if
question.
this is the first, it's going to be real exciting with all the new special effects and stuff.
There's Troy. That's it. That's part of the Odyssey. That's where it starts. I mean, do you know the story of Odysseus at all? The Odyssey?
I know. I've read the book. It's
like
been a
parts
while.
of it. So Troy, I think, is the closest one. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's going to be good.
This is real exciting. Like, I'm excited to see what they do. I mean, if it is a true Odyssey movie, that'd be cool. But also, Hugh Jackman's in a musical, so what if they made this like a musical Odyssey?
A musical Odyssey.
I don't know. Homer the musical Odyssey. So
don't mind us, we are sheep. Singing that to the Cyclops.
and he's gonna hurt me.
Oh my goodness! I probably not, because the director is the director of the Hunger Games movies, the first 3.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably going to be brutal, and it's not a musical. I doubt that it's going to be a musical.
Well, they'll probably have, of course, Jennifer Lawrence in there somewhere. Then I'm just kidding.
Oh goodness. Well, moving on to another action star, we have Christian Bale. He's going to be starring as Enzo Ferrari in a film about, of course, Enzo Ferrari, the founder of Ferrari, the car company. Mm-hmm. Shooting begins next summer and is directed by Michael Mann, who's the director of Heat, Last of the Mohicans, Public Enemy, so a bunch of really hardcore action-ish and I don't know, what is the word I'm looking for? Action-ish. We'll stick with that. We'll stick with action-ish.
Yeah. So that's interesting because this sounds like it's going to be more of a serious movie. And
biopic.
We all know, of course, like Christian Bale. He's
an intense personality.
He's an intense person. He did really good in, of course, Batman, and also he was like,
"That's my car,
vengeance." But no, like I think he was in 310 to Yuma? Or that might be Jude Law. I don't know.
I think it was Jude Law.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was both. But he was also played in a movie. Was it The Fighter, where it was kind of like the documentary?
Yeah.
And he played the kind of crazy brother, right? That was a boxer.
Yeah.
He did so good in that movie. And so this kind of makes me, when I hear about him playing this role, I kind of think back to that movie. So I'm kind of excited to see how Christian Bale takes on Ferraris.
I really don't know much about Enzo Ferrari's life, so this is going to be really interesting. I don't know if he was a crazy person or if he was normal. If he was normal, they probably would be making a movie about him.
I mean, this could be Furious 8 as well, and we just don't know.
Yeah, Furious 8.
Vin Diesel will show up, and I don't know.
That would be awesome.
But no, it sounds cool. If there's street races and stuff, Christian Bale and street races, that'd be awesome. So I'm excited for this movie. Is there any solid dates on that? Or?
No, well, they're
just filming next year.
So
yeah.
They're starting filming next summer, so it'll probably be anher year after that, 6 months, something.
So keep your eyes out for that. That's going to be kind of exciting.
I think that's the next big biopic to come out after the Jobs thing later this year. I don't think there's anything else big coming out, so that'll be really neat. Real good shake-up, because it's better. It's good to get a shake-up after all these reboots and whatnot.
Yeah, and the biopics have been real interesting. So
yeah.
More news is, of course, what kind of podcast would this be if we didn't talk about Star Wars at least once?
I know. Well, we missed something last week. A couple things. The spin-offs. Han Solo and Rogue One. Rogue One has an official title now. It's called Rogue One: A Star Wars Story.
Okay, and what is it about?
It is about, you remember how Princess Leia, when you first see Princess Leia, she's putting the little Death Star plans inside R2-D2, and she's recording her message. It's about the group of people, not just guys, actually the main star is a girl. It's about the group of people that steal the original Death Star plans. So the ones that allow Luke to shoot his little thing and the ones rockets in the pipe.
It's pretty cool because last week we talked about Star Wars Battlefront a little bit, and there's a mission in Battlefront 2 where you are the guys stealing the Death Star plans.
Yeah, it's going to be neat.
So that would be a really cool story to see on film finally.
The neat thing about these anthology films, these spin-off films, is that they can take a totally new feel from the original Star Wars feel, which is kind of like an adventure. This is just an adventure. The Han Solo spinoff, so I've heard and read and it's been speculated, is going to be more of a comedy.
Okay.
And this one seems more of like a World War II resistance type film. Mm-hmm. So I just think that's awesome that we can get different types of different feels, different emotions in the different Star Wars films.
Yeah.
So we can get a romance, we can get a horror, a Star Wars horror film. Can you imagine that?
That'd be really weird.
That'd be crazy.
They also, I think, haven't they announced a Boba Fett movie too?
Yeah, that one could be more of a heist, like a heist film, a
Bounty
heist
Hunter movie. I mean,
Yeah, it's because it's similar. I really think Disney's taking a page out of their Marvel
Yeah.
section, because Ant-Man was a heist film.
yeah,
Captain America was like a spy thriller.
yeah.
Or the Winter Soldier one was, and so to see Star Wars kind of taking on the same DNA is really cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, they could also do stuff with that, like have the, like, I don't know, have like a little innuendo where it's like, oh, look, this guy's in our main Star Wars movie too, or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
if they wanted to, I highly doubt they would do that, kind of like an Avengers type deal. But that sounds pretty cool.
I really think that they can do really well with this, and I am super pumped to see the Han Solo.
They need a
spin-off.
Chewbacca backstory one.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree.
Everybody in a Wookiee costume.
Everyone's just growling at each other the entire movie.
2001: Space Odyssey all over again.
Oh my goodness! Yes, that would be weird.
It'd be pretty awesome.
That would just be weird.
That should be a comedy. It'd be like Seinfeld with
The Wookiee spin-off. Just Is that Tim Allen?
That's Home Improvement. Oops, wrong sitcom.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
But that pretty much does it for the movie news this week. So
Yeah.
pretty exciting stuff. Video game section, yeah. That's our sweet intro to video games. Austin's Michael Jackson, and we literally just wing that.
That was my
pretty
Jar Jar Binks Michael Jackson.
cool. Jar Jar Binks Michael Jackson. Me so like video games. Woo hee.
That's so beautiful.
Well, guys, this wouldn't be the Vegan King podcast if we didn't talk about video games, but this time we have video games that all of you like. Of course, we're going to start with Destiny and get that boring stuff out of the way, and then move on to the best thing ever.
I haven't played Destiny in like 2 or 3 weeks.
I actually played this last weekend with my friend Thorcraft and Blue Ninja, blah, blah, blah.
69743.
6744597. And anyways, they were struggling with like a level 32 raid, or level 32 Crouton. Croton.
Prison of Elders.
Prison of Elders.
Quodron.
I don't even know how to say
Crouton's
it.
better.
I call him Crouton because
Crouton is better.
he's a jerk. So I helped him with that. That kind of sucked. And then I was getting hungry, and I was like, well, let's just go through Nightfall real fast. And he doesn't have very much exotics. Blue Ninja doesn't. And so we were trying to get him something sweet. And then I was like, well, they didn't get anything, but we're going to give you like your 5th Thunderlord. It's like, all right, thanks, Destiny.
Yeah.
And then I just
RNG.
stopped playing and started watching Netflix again.
Yeah, so this week Bungie did a Twitch stream on Wednesday. They went through all of the quality of life changes that they have going, and we're just gonna highlight the three main things that they talked about, because the other stuff is just real minor.
Mm-hmm. And so Destiny, they kind of announced they have a new quest tab.
Which is awesome. It's consolidating everything. You can hold 32 quests. So quests from factions, Crucible. What are the other people?
So it's kind of like an expansion to your bounties you can hold now. You can hold like 10 now. And
you can hold 16 bounties. It's different. Quests and bounties are actually different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can hold 16 bounties.
So now the quests won't take up your bounty slots pretty much.
It's going to be nice. They're actually going to use the quest area. Remember the quest area had like nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot better. It looks really good, the user interface. They won an award at a recent convention or something like that for their user interface, for their UI.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
It was really smooth, really clean, so it's nice.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah, the other big thing, the biggest good news is that Vault Space has been doubled.
Vault Space, we've been needing that forever. Like,
I honestly didn't really want to get the Taken King if I wasn't going to get more Vault Space. There's no point. I wasn't going to be able to hold anything, but now it's doubled, 72 everything, it's really, super nice. All the emblems and everything you can just delete, because there's a section where you can just browse.
Well, they'll probably just immediately hopefully they immediately transfer.
No, they won't immediately transfer, but it knows exactly everything that you've unlocked already. So you can just clear out your materials area of emblems and shaders.
I mean, we're going to be able to clear out like sapphire
stuff.
wire and plastel plating, and
I think that automatically
is going to get transferred to the main.
Yeah. I think that stuff
or
automatically does.
Unirace.
Uniclass
material. But yeah, that's exciting. But also,
sad.
We're not going to really need that vault space anymore with the next thing, because some of the exotics
About half the exotics are staying behind in year 1 of Destiny, and the other half are going to be upgradable in year 2.
But not staying behind meaning you won't be able to use them anymore for like PvE or like Crucible and stuff, because of course they bring up the weapon stuff on that.
Yeah, you can use the weapon still. It's just they're not going to be as great.
They're not going to ascend. You're not going to be able to ascend them like we were able to this last time. So half the exotics aren't going to be able to be ascended or to be able to be max power level now. And they already said that Gjallarhorn's not going to be one of those.
Oh, right after everyone bought it.
No wonder Xur sold it to as those jerks.
That guy was just clearing out his inventory, trying to.
We're going to sell you the best weapon, then say it sucks. So.
Yeah, that's pretty much it on Destiny. We're just in like the waiting game right now.
Yeah, I saw some of the legendary weapons. I'm not sure if it was the heavy slot, but there was a sword.
Oh yeah,
a sword,
and you can defend with it. So you can. So if you have an arc sword, you take less damage from void and solar.
Oh, okay.
It looks pretty slick. It looks pretty sweet. So you can walk around with the sword.
Can you parry and stuff, or is that just?
I don't know. I don't know if it's that intuitive or anything.
Is it going to be third-person mode, or is it first-person sword using?
Good question. I think it's probably going to be third person. I don't think they're going to redefine an entire weapon.
Well, because you can equip it now, so that'd be kind of annoying to always just play in third person if you want to use the sword.
It might switch out. It might. I don't know. We didn't see any information on that.
Yeah, so it's pretty exciting. I mean, like I have seen first-person sword use in like Borderlands with Zero and stuff.
Yeah, it's certainly possible.
So.
We'll see.
Anyways, that's just it for Destiny news. Nothing too special, stuff we already knew. But this next news is super duper exciting because if you're like me, if you're a Poké fan like me, you're gonna really
be a fighting game fan. Matt's a huge fighting game fan. He crushes me every time.
But they are releasing a Pokemon fighting game coming to the Wii U.
So it's in the same vein as Street Fighter, right?
Yeah. It's kind of more or less like Street Fighter. They already have it in Japan in some of the arcades, but it seems pretty exciting. It's not Super Smash Brosy, but it's gonna be closer to Street Fighter. It's kind of like a hybrid between them.
It's designed by the guys who make Tekken, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's legit. It's got legit people behind it. It's not the usual Pokemon
I'm kind of curious on what kind of Pokemon you can select to be your characters.
Right now, I think it's Lucario. I'm pretty sure Pikachu's in there, of course.
That's going to be interesting because like Lucario makes sense. Yeah. But of course, there would probably be Hitmonchan, Hitmontop.
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous if it didn't have the fighting dudes in there.
They'd probably have like Machop and whatever. If you could evolve, if like Super Saiyan Dragon Ball Z stuff was going on too, like evolve.
What, like the Mega Evolutions and jazz?
No, I mean like in Dragon Ball Z, you can turn Super Saiyan in the middle of the game match while you're fighting. Yeah. And so like if like maybe you got enough hit points and saved up much energy,
so like
evolve into Machoke real fast. And then
so I see. So you start off as like Machop, and then I really don't know anything about this arcade game though.
Neither do I.
There's probably stuff.
It's literally just always been in Japan, and there's not much information. I don't know how they do that with this internet, where like they don't release too much information to people. But anyways,
Nintendo's usually pretty. Got a tight lid on it. Did you hear about that guy? Sorry, this is a super side note, but a guy got on a podcast the other week that worked for Nintendo. Got on the podcast and started talking. He didn't reveal any secret details or anything like that, but Nintendo let him go because he violated their like policy.
Really?
Yeah. Even he didn't like spoil anything, leak anything, but just because he got out and started talking without permission from Nintendo to actually do that, he was fired.
Wow.
Yeah. So Nintendo's really got a tight lid on their stuff. So.
Yep. But they're releasing a fighting game for the Wii U, and I'll probably get it. I'll let you guys know how it is. But I'm excited for this Pokemon game.
I can't wait to get crushed.
But there's a reason why they're doing this is because next year is going to be Pokemon's 25th year anniversary, I believe, 2016.
Oh, the nostalgia.
Oh, yes. And speaking of nostalgia, they are remaking Pokemon Yellow version, the version of where Pikachu follows you around in the first region of Kanto. And you, of course, have to get the 151 Pokemon, but after you beat the game, they'll have all of the Pokemon show up in that one as well. And so that's pretty exciting to be able to have Pikachu follow you around again. So
yeah, I remember when I first got it and I saw my friends playing Red and Blue and the other ones, and I was like, where the heck's your guy? Why isn't he following you around? Mm-hmm. I had no idea because I was like 10 or 11 or whatever the heck it was. And I was just, man.
Oh, I'm just super excited because you get to play as Ash Ketchum for real because it's based off the show more. And then, of course,
Really,
we're
they're
going to
not
see.
calling you Red or anything?
Well, you're based off of, like, Yellow version was solely like a show remake.
Yeah.
Because you played as Ash and then you would fight Team Rocket and it was Jesse and James Meow.
Yeah, the Kanto
They would
stuff.
have all the stuff. And so
All the stuff's coming back to me now.
And so I'm really excited to be able to see Jesse and James and all of them in 3D on the 3DS.
Jesse, James.
So if they make it more like the show, like nostalgic like that, even more, oh my gosh. That's going to be a game you're going to want to get if you're a Pokemon fan.
Get to see Team Rocket blast off again.
After you beat them, they have to be like, ding, and just go off in the sky.
The beautiful star.
So that's pretty exciting. And that's really it. That's that news came out. That's pretty old, so some of you probably knew about that. But
I didn't, so I don't know, I wasn't keeping track of it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for video games news.
yeah, video games.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt's music.
Hey! Yeah. All right, so Austin and I had a real fun experience last night with music.
Jazz hands.
Can these guys see my jazz hands over here? I'm so excited. But yeah, this time at Matt's Music, Austin and I went to go see a show last night, and Austin had a real fun experience. You kind of want to tell him about your ID situation?
Oh, I thought you were gonna mention like I kissed at least 20 babes.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen. No, actually.
They were all dudes. He was drunk. No, I'm just kidding.
I wasn't
kidding.
drunk because I
Just
wasn't
kidding.
allowed. I wasn't allowed.
We don't drink.
to
We don't drink.
The bouncer totally. He's a nice guy, but I didn't even know about vertical IDs and horizontal IDs that shows you how much I go to these clubs and stuff. But so we walk in and the guy tells me, "No, I'm sorry, you can't come in." I thought, please, man, please, mister. And he let me in. So.
He let him in, but it's just like, can you not do math? Like his birthday is right there. He's over.
That really doesn't make sense to me at all. They have it in bright yellow letters on the ID, under 21 until this day. What? Am I a different age because I have a different piece of plastic? How does this work?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes.
Arizona's got a great driver's license thing. It lasts for 50 years, but our bouncers can't do math to find out how old I am. That's stupid.
Exactly.
But the band was great.
But anyways, Austin and I, we would go to this venue or this bar called the Western Grain over here in Scottsdale, Arizona. We went and saw this band called the Red Deeps, and this band's kind of special to us actually because our friend Skylar, who we know is the lead singer. So we listened to them the first time we listened to them, and they're not that bad. They kind of got this little like
Indie folk.
not indie folk, not indie folk at all.
We had a huge argument about
I got
this.
so mad last night because he said it was indie folk, but it's kind of more like MGMT if you've heard of that band, like kind of like the kids, like electric, kind of like dancey kind of stuff, but like country. They kind of just changed around. They really changed what they were. Like
They're pretty varied. They're pretty varied.
Mm-hmm. They had like a swing song and stuff, so they got pretty rocking, pretty good. But if you ever want to check out the Red Deeps, they have their album coming out soon. I'm sure you can probably find stuff on them on YouTube. They're videotaping it the whole night, but it was good stuff.
Yeah, when we get that link, we'll put it up. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was a really good show. So check out the Red Deeps. They're pretty good. I can see them going somewhere.
I actually recorded a big chunk of it. I'll put that up on our Facebook page.
Yeah, we'll put that on our Facebook page. So if you're interested in listening to Red Deeps, see what we saw. Maybe even, did you record us? No, we just recorded Skylar singing.
I think we can see your ear at one point.
Hey, if you can see my ear, so you get to really see us in the action there. But the show was really cool. It was also memorable or a memorial for their friend that died. So it was kind of like a touching show. You could really feel it. So
it was really cool.
So hearts out to Stetson. Hearts out to the Red Deep band. But it was good. Check them out.
Great show.
You love his bits. It's Austin.
All my bits are the best. All right, so I got a super funny one.
All right.
This happened a long time ago, though, in 1993. So the Barbie, long time ago.
Back in my day when I was 2 years old.
I was 2. Wow. So this might have happened to me. This is all right. Let me.
This isn't about Jared, is it?
No, it's not about Jared. All right. So in '93, The Barbie Liberation Organization, I had no idea this group even existed, challenged gender stereotypes by switching the voice boxes of hundreds of Barbie and G.I. Joe dolls.
So you could
and reverse shoplifted them back into the stores. So Barbies would yell, "Eat lead, Cobra," while G.I. Joes would ask, "Want to go shopping?"
Oh my gosh, that is the coolest thing I've heard.
I can't think of a funnier voice box switch than that. Honestly, I don't know what would be funnier.
I wonder if people still have those action figures. I wonder if they're worth more now. Because of that.
That's got to be worth more. And can you imagine Yoda in a Barbie doll or something like that? Yoda's, use the Force, you must. What? Oh my goodness!
Just picturing this masculine Duke from G.I. Joe's. Let's go shopping.
Want to go shopping?
Want to go shopping? Want to cruise in the Corvette? Just makes me laugh.
Comb my hair.
So bad. Then Butch Barbie. Just
so many confused children. So many confused children. I know the object.
That is why.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I know the object was to challenge gender orientation, but I think it confused probably more than anything.
Wow, this Barbie. Imagine being a blind kid like.
Dumb and Dumber with the parrot. That's what I imagine happened to them. Pretty bird, and then all of a sudden, oh goodness. Well, that was a bad situation.
That's a good bit.
It's a funny freaking situation.
It's a good bit.
Austin's bits.
I love your bits. But anyways, guys, this is just to prepare you for next week. Next Monday, we're gonna be having a really special show to us. Austin and I just read Ready Player One. And so we're going to talk a lot about that and kind of news coming out with that. So prepare yourself for Ready Player One. You want to read the book in 2 days.
Like Matt did.
Like I did. You should. It's a really good book. So we're going to talk about Ready Player One on Monday and talk about some movie news. So tune in next week. And, of course, email us at vagrantkings@gmail.com.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We'll love ya.
All right. Bye.